Welcome to the Smorgasbord Podcast, episode 50, where we talk about a variety of different topics, uncensored, unedited, and unfiltered. Back, and as you can see, we're making progress. I have a mic now. Finally, took me 50 episodes to get a mic and a ring light behind me. I look more vibrant. We're working on stuff. I would have something special with a new background, but I'm injured right now. I can't show the camera, but marching band camp started this week, so I've been, again, very busy. The problem is that I kind of tore a muscle marching. There is a muscle, so I was marching, and we were doing a forward march, and the whole thing is to roll with your foot. You have to roll. And we were going through very thick grass. We didn't go to our usual parking spot because my school is has construction on it. So we went to my old middle school. Shout out Holcomb Bridge. And yeah, everything was going good. My feet hurt, but it was like nothing new. I'm the only sousaphone there. And I rolled, and it felt like a pop, like under my foot, and I still was marching, even though I get hurt so much I fell. I didn't yell out or nothing. I just fell, and I was like, god damn it, that hurt a lot. But we'll keep pushing. And then I finally was just like, I can't walk. I'm gonna have to go sit down. So I sat out for the rest of that day, and we came the next day to the urgent care, and it was basically, oh yeah, you definitely tore a muscle, but there's also, we don't know if it's a new injury, an old injury, or a mix of the two, because you also have a fracture from 2 or 3 years previous that's still there, and it's the same spot. And so took some medication, and I'm off it. I have a boot right now. Shout out to my neighbors for letting me borrow it. And now we're here. I'm home. I'm just chilling. 50 episodes. We're halfway there to my goal. As I said, my goal, was obviously to, improve this and get more people on it. But not only that, it was also to upgrade. Because like I said, my setup when I started this and right until now has been, I turn on this camera, I turn on my computer, I turn it on, I click, and I go. And then I post it. So no mics, no editing, no nothing. And now I've gotten better lighting. I actually have a mic where, obviously I rewatched the last episode with Alex and Sunny. Shout out them. And, or not last episode, whatever the episode was where we did a bunch of tests. I think it was last episode. I do believe it was last episode. But you couldn't really hear Alex sometimes because he was so far over here. Again, my apologies for that. But now we have a mic. It's going good. Now I feel like whenever I have guests, I can either pass it around, or if this computer doesn't crash, I can have put another mic in here for guests or whatever, and we can use it. And it's gonna be a great time, man. Honestly, things are looking good. And also have a backdrop. Can't hang it because my foot's in a boot right now, but. Next episode, best believe. When I tell you this backdrop is fire, it epitomizes the concept of what this podcast is and is meant to be. And, it's only going to go up from here. Shout out to my mom, because she's now going to start doing this. She's already uploaded her first episode. Go look it up. Adventures of Single Mom Dom on YouTube. She's fucking killed it. A lot of me is also just like, good shit. I'm glad, because she already had a blog, and we already told her, because she is such a big personality. I'll have to have her on here eventually, obviously, that she needs to make a video. That it's just, you're already entertaining through text. If you put you on camera and you do it, you'll be great. Me and Derek both told her this. And finally, I told her again, and just, I don't know, I guess how she put it, how I said it again, and how she received it. She went and bought all this, and she started hers, and hers is already better than mine. Oh yeah, she already has it on Spotify, which, again, working on that for people out there. She's working on it. She's has an intro and all that stuff. She has a great setup. great guy, that she went to school for video photography or it was video editing or something like along those lines. And yeah, she's killed it. This is the first episode. Go give it a watch. It's Adventures of Single Mom Dom. She uploads the clips on TikTok, which again, she's done everything I haven't done, and she did one episode. She's killed it. She's done better than my entire year doing this. Oh man, that I was like, no, the jealousy was there, but I was like, that's fucking dope. That's dope as hell. But give it a watch. But I think that ties into what we're gonna be talking about today. My whole thing today is dedication, because, like I said, I've been very busy, and a lot of things have been happening, and all this stuff will tie into dedication. Number one, the Sha'Carri Richardson situation. Let's address that. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, Sha'Carri Richardson is an American sprinter, Olympian, and she, very talented, very fast. She was caught violating the rules of not, basically she smoked weed. And she's an athlete. She wanted to go for the Olympics, and they were like debating and like, we can't let you run. We can't let you run. And the world was outraged. A lot of people were like, we should let her run, because her reason was, and I don't know if I already talked about this. I probably have. I'm just going off my list of stuff. It's like, the reason she smoked was because her mother passed away, which is tragic, but also understand that, and now by the time of this recording, she officially has been like not selected for the 4x100 Olympic sprint, so she's not going to Tokyo for the Olympics this year. And people were trying to justify it and create excuses for her, and I don't understand why, because at the end of the day, performance enhancing or not, she was given a set of rules, and she even said herself, I know what I did, and I know what I'm supposed to do. And she said that she smoked that weed to cope with it was a coping mechanism for the passing of her mother. Prayers out for her family and her. I hope they can get past it. But at the end of the day, they don't deserve to run. They broke the rules. She worked that hard to become an Olympian, and she worked in that much self-discipline, or now lack of dedication. Not lack of dedication, she threw it all away on an impulsive decision. Do I think it was a mean spirit? No. But she run? Absolutely not. And I don't understand why people are excusing her behavior. Because you dedicate your life to become an Olympian. You dedicate your life to the sport, to whatever it is you do, your craft, whatever it is that you're doing. And you go out there and you throw something away, so much work off of that stuff. When people have persevered, I'm sorry, the truth is they persevered through the similar things, or if not worse, and never did that. This doesn't make her a bad. And the problem is that when people say that, they think I'm like saying she's a bad person because she smoked a blunt. It really isn't. Like she's just a person who made a mistake, a costly one, and she has to pay for that choice. And she even openly said she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was supposed to do, and she didn't do it. End of the day, in my book, people are excusing bad behavior, and I think it's a thing based off the fact that it's a race, that they want to make it a race thing, and it's not a race thing. It's just, end of the day, you smoked a blunt and you weren't supposed to. You don't run to the Olympics. Sorry, you can go the next 4 years, or you can do the winter, the Olympics, all this other, or whatever, however the stuff works. Your next one, do it. Because you're very talented. I've seen what she can do. She was behind. One of her most popular highlights is that she was running behind, and then she won and stole the show when she ran back. I said, she's very talented. Keep training, keep going. You'll be an Olympian. But you have to be mindful of the mistakes you make. And that's it. And it just shows that she sacrificed that much dedication and that much of work for a very costly decision. Doesn't make her a bad person, but I don't see why people are giving her, trying to give her a pass and be like, just let her run anyways and all that stuff. And I'm like, no. Dude, they banned all these sports, man. Tyreek, and I'm not saying look, I personally believe that based on the organization, the inconsistencies of these rules are a problem. I do believe that, but I do not believe that they should be completely passed. Like, for example, Tyreek Evans, former NBA player, banned for life because he was high. But at the same time, John Collins was suspended for 56 games because of a blunt, because he smoked weed. We'll go over to the MMA. USADA, the anti-doping, they banned Nick Diaz for 2 years off of weed. Not the stuff John Jones did, where it was like anabolic steroids. A blunt. He smoked weed, and USADA said, you're banned for life. Just kidding. We're going to reduce it to 2 years because, and now he's coming back to competition. Thankfully, Nick Diaz Army, we're back in business, baby. But no, I don't agree with the inconsistencies. But at the end of the day, the rules are the rules, and you have to abide by them. And if you can't abide by them, then you have to deal with the consequences of you doing that. At the end of the day, you can't excuse poor behavior. That's it. And like I said, it comes down to the how much are you dedicated to your craft? How much are you dedicated to your sport? And there's also certain levels of success where that can slip. I'll go even here. My favorite YouTuber of all time is Corey Kenshin. I've been with him since 1,000 subscribers, right? I've been at the very beginning with this man. This man, I was with him through every RPG horror game, every Five Nights at Freddy's, you name it, I was there for it. I was there for when he moved out of Michigan State to pursue his career as a YouTuber, and he said, I have a deadline. I will need to get to 150,000 by the next year. If I don't, I'll go back to school and I won't do it anymore. But if I do get it, I'll pursue it as a career. Excuse me. And he did it, and he was very dedicated. He was very, very consistent. He uploaded every day. It was just natural. And the more success he got, the less consistent he got. And to where it's now, where he said at 10 million, I will retire. I will retire at 10 million subscribers. He announced that at 7 million. And before that, I was with them through all those breaks where at the end of the day, for me personally, the issue wasn't the breaks. It was that you left and you didn't tell nobody. And we're supposed to, and then when you come back and you give us a same rehearsed, in my eyes, kind of sometimes a bullshit apology, an explanation, not the explanation was a BS, but just, if you burnt out, if you need a mental health day, I understand that part. It's just about letting people know and having that consistency of being like, and the courtesy to let your fan base, let the people who supported you all these years be like, hey, at the end of the day, I'm not a machine. And he kept reiterating that I am not a machine. I need time for me. Let people know though. No, because he dedicated himself so much to it, and he got to such a successful point where he burned himself out, and he left for 6 months and didn't tell anybody. And again, he did the same thing too, because he kept saying, I won't do this again. He'll leave for 3 months, come back. Leave for a few months, come back. And even we're in the middle of that right now. Corey Kenshin, uploaded his 9 million subscriber special. Shout out to all my Corey Kenshin fans watching, by the way. And I'm going to be real. At some point, I want to have him on this podcast. I want to have a conversation with him. I do. I really do. I want to have a conversation and be like, Corey, what's up, man? Like, be real. I want to be like from the perspective of one of your younger viewers who grew up watching you become into this man that you are today. His last video he uploaded was 4 months ago, and he says, 9 million. This is the final stretch. This is where I push my hardest, and this is where we make it count. Then, to this day, since then, has not uploaded. I have to pull up the exact dates, but he basically gained 1.3 million subscribers not doing anything. Which, hey, you know, fair play to him. He's able to do that. But yeah, he's 4 months ago, 9 million, the home stretch. He's now at 10.2 now, ladies and gentlemen, which means he's reached that 10 mil mark where he has officially announced his retirement. How I see it going is that he'll get the diamond play button. He'll come out and he'll say, hey, you know, thank everybody for this, you know, all that stuff. He got the 10 mil plaque. I'm officially announcing my retirement and logging off. I hope he doesn't do that, because it's not a satisfying way. It was a very disappointing thing. Not even the fact of his retirement. In the fact of it didn't feel complete. You didn't go out how you came in. You know, PewDiePie, you know, he's reached 100 mil and all that stuff. And even when he took that break at the beginning of the year, to where his fan base now, he's gotten to a point where his fan base understands that's like when he married Mars, they were like, don't record your wedding. Enjoy the time with your wife. Enjoy your time. Don't do that. KSI, he burned himself out too. Left for 6 months. And, I think it's 4 or 6. And we were like, you know what? You weren't happy with your content then. You know what? If you need to take a break to pursue boxing, to pursue music, do it. But come back. When you come back, you give us your all. You come back with the dedication, with the hard work. Not saying Corey doesn't work hard, but I'm saying it's just that because his quality of work that he's given us over the years has been top notch, hands down, absolutely top notch. I don't dispute that for a second, but it's just the level of the more success he's had, the more money, the more views, the more things where he had to, you know, the more opportunities he got, the more complacent. I feel like through his work I've seen, he's gotten more complacent. And, you know, that's just a lesson I try to take because, like I said, we can even go back to sports. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks for winning the 2021 NBA championship. Giannis has officially completed his resume at age 26. Holy shit. Man, he's got the most improved player award, 2 MVPs back-to-back with the defensive player of the year award, the same year as one of those MVP runs. Goes out there in 6 games and absolutely dominates, improves as of this day right now. He's the best player in the league. But like I said, we can go back to the hard work. He was first drafted. I want everybody to go do this. Go do that. Go look up Giannis. Like, if you can't spell his name, you know, just look up Milwaukee Bucks and that giant long Antetokounmpo Giannis name. That's him. Look him up when he first got drafted, and then just based on the physical stature of him, look at him from then to now. The hard work is, and his ability, my God, is telltale by 1 year. And this man's been, I'm trying to remember when was, I'm trying to figure out when was he drafted, because he's still very young. because he's still very, very young. He's still 26. He's still a kid. And yeah, he was drafted in 2013. So he's been in the league about 8 years. And people like to harp on, joining super teams. This man stayed with the franchise he built, and he tweeted out back when he was drafted. He said, "I will not leave this franchise until I build a team that is championship caliber." And he did it. Through that much hard work and all that communication, he stuck with it, put his head down through for being one of the worst teams in the league. They're getting swept like the Miami Heat, Big Three with LeBron, D-Wade, and Bosh, to losing in 5 in the bubble last year to hit the Miami Heat. He's done well for himself, and he's in that dedication. And I'm very glad he was able to do what he did, and it's only up from here. And he's done very well. Chris Paul led a very young team to a Game 6 in the NBA Finals. Chris Paul on the other side of it, a lot of hard work and dedication of bringing a young team with zero experience, playoff experience. And he took a franchise, made him the first seed, went out there, beat the defending champion Lakers in 6. With and without injuries, they played better as a unit. As a unit, they played better. They swept the MVP of the league this year, Nikola Jokic. He swept them. Personally, I thought Curry should have won it, but a lot of it's my bias. Also, if he had made the playoffs, they should have gave it to him. But that's neither here or there. He plays the Clippers in the conference finals, beats them in 6. Then goes out there and balls out. I can't get mad at that. And I'm saying all this stuff, and I do take lessons from all this stuff as much as it is entertaining, and a lot of it is knowledge for me. How do I try to stay dedicated? Because again, I harped on Corey Kenshin, but I'm no better, because there have been times where I've been busy, and not even really busy, more a lot of times it's also just unmotivated, to where I would sit in my room and I haven't recorded in a month, 2 months. And as I said, it's not fair. So I'm not saying that to shit on anybody, but I am saying, you just have to recognize that within yourself as well as in others, and be take the lessons with time. And with me, my next, at least on my adventures in life and just trying new things, I'm becoming a musician. And what I mean is that I'm going to start making music. And when I say start, I have been starting already. I've been in band since middle school. I played the tuba, I played the guitar, haven't picked it up a little bit, but need to. But still do. I memorize. I have a bunch of songs memorized and know how to play on there. I have a whole harmonica set. I play around with that. But as far as going to a studio and making music, and not being a rapper, being a musician, I am looking for people with that same dedication as I have, and I want to take this serious. I want this to be quality. I want this to be something where it's it stands as this is good. This is quality. Like I said, and I put that out. I was who wants to, should I start making music, which I already decided, but it was more of just what do the public think? What do my friends think? And who's willing, to make it with me. And you had a couple people who were like, you shouldn't make it. One of my friends, Miles, shout out to him, love him, but he has no motivation to do things other than just shit that'll waste time. And he was like, I don't think you should do it because it's a lot of work. And I'm like, but what isn't? Anything that's worth it is hard work. And if I'm enjoying it, it doesn't feel like hard work. It's just me having a good time. And so he said that. And so sorry, someone called. If you see a random cut, that's why. So I posted on my story, a good friend of mine, Aretta, shout out to her. Me and her have spent, what I tell you, we spent days listening to beats, writing. Like I know, as far as total songs written, we've written like 10, 11 songs. We made the same night she swiped up is the same night we made our first song. Came over the next day to my house. We made 2 or 3 more. She taught me how to just listen to the beat and just write because she knew how to write. I didn't know how to. I just knew how to. I could freestyle, and she would write it down. But then, like I remember one time I was just listening, and before at first it was like, okay, some rap tunes, but then I was listening to ones that they're just singing, and I was like, huh, I could make something of this, and I wrote songs, and they're pretty good, and we have, like I said, a lot of potential here. We've just gotten into the studio. Shout out Harper Lee. Cool dude, man. I knew him. I knew him. I had band with him before he quit, and that man is a fucking genius. I'll tell you, that man is a genius. He made, and when we came into the studio, this was like 4 or 5 days after writing. We came in, we were like, Harper, show us what you got. And we showed him the beats, and he said he had a bunch of his own. He made one. He made his own beat. And we haven't even touched the songs that we've already written. In a way, like, we have the song that I've been like that, and we made a whole new one. And we have yet to touch the ones I already have. Oh, sorry. Oh, jeez. But it's looking good. So be on the lookout for songs with me, my friend Aretta. How the group is looking right now, like the group of people making music. It's me, Aretta, this kid named Jacob Mobley, who has stuff on Spotify. Give him a listen. He's very fucking talented. That boy can sing his ass off. For real. Like, his is high quality on Spotify and SoundCloud. Like, 100%. I'm like, go look at it. It's fucking incredible. It's awesome. It's us 3, and I do get on Jacob a little bit because he's, I guess he hasn't had that many people who are like, have the same interest, so he's trying to make it more of a friend thing, and I'm like, we're still friends, but at the end of the day, we're here to make music. We're here to make this a thing. Write your verses, and he hasn't, and we're gonna get on him about that, and I talked to Aretta and all that, because really it's been me and Aretta working hard. And shout out Joseph. If you're watching, Joseph, I fucking love you, dude. He is I guess would be my quote unquote second producer, because I have Harper, who's really good at it, and Joe, who he's newer to it, but he's just right now. I honestly told him, I said there's no pressure. I'm literally here. They give me a beat that you think sounds good, I'll make it happen. He sent me some stuff, and for him playing around with it, it sounds very cool. So Joe, keep it up. I'll definitely be texting you more about it. And I brought him to the studio one time with Sunny. Shout out Sunny, because she was being stubborn. She was being stubborn about some other music shit. And pretty much just having fun with it. And that's been the group. And we call ourselves the balanced ones. So right now it's me, Aretta, Jacob, and Joseph. Alan's in there, but Alan's away at camp as we speak, so he hasn't been doing anything. So it's really the ones that have been actually working on the stuff, like actually working, have been me, Aretta, and Joseph. Because Joseph's been producing for hours. Me and Aretta have spent days in the studio, days working on stuff here. I still am trying to find new stuff, and Like, we made a rock one that we think if we find the right beat, it's going to be... I'm telling you, man, some of this shit would be catchy, man. It's just sucked because I'm like, the beats we did it off of, we would have to buy them. And it's kind of expensive, and I don't have that. I have money, but I don't have, like, money like that, so... And he don't have money like that, so we just gotta have to figure it out. But, you know, as far as my self-dedication, and that made me truly realize that I don't have time for bullshit anymore, you know. Which is weird coming from a 16-year-old. I told my mom that. She was just like, God, you're so the opposite of me, because when she was 16, she was like, I ain't got nothing but time for the bullshit. And for me, I'm just like, I ain't got time for it. Like, I don't. I don't have time for that at all. Like, I can't see myself wasting that time anymore. And I think I don't know what it is. I can't do it anymore. I can't sit there and go out there and be like, oh, you know, work on yourself and all this. And then, like, here's an example. I've also developed this thing. I've developed this thing recently, very recently, and I put it on my Snapchat story. But for those who watch this, y'all can put your 2 cents in if you felt like this too, or if I'm just a jackass for feeling like this. I am developing this subconscious thing where I physically cannot. I have this instinctual disdain for weak-minded people. And off rip, that sounds like I'm just a complete jackass, but let me explain. So when I say that, I mean, when you talk to them and they're like the pick-me boys, and they're like, or the pick-me girls who are always just like, oh, nobody loves me, all this and that, and just that level of just begging for compliments, complaining about their lives, but then not doing anything. Like, one moment that kind of gave me that, I'll give you an example. It was actually from my father. Now, me and my father don't really speak much. We have a good relationship as far as I'm concerned. He just don't show up. I ain't much to say really about that. It's just that he don't show up. So he doesn't really call or text here. He'll disappear for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. He's been doing that since I was 8, but he lives the next day down. Can't really control it. It's just what he chose. He texts me out of nowhere. You know, he never. So I'm like, okay, what is he texting me for? He's like, hey. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, so you don't love me anymore? And I'm like, what? He's like, so you don't love me anymore? I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, you don't love me anymore? And I'm like, I never said that. He's like, how come you don't call me? And I'm like, the phone works both ways. I don't understand. He's like, you know, you're right, and all that stuff. And then, but that messed with me. That messed with me for 2 days. And I was like, you take, like, he texted like a insecure girlfriend. Like, he texted, and I was like, you 50, man. Like, ugh. And it physically, subconsciously makes me make the sound. Ugh. Just can't do it. Sorry if this is too loud for the mic, by the way. My apologies. I don't know how this is going to come out. I know the mic works, but but physically, I was just like, ugh. Why? Like, he gave out the same energy. Like, I'm just at a bar picking up dads. And if you follow me on TikTok, I've told this story, but like, the same energy of like, he gave me the same energy. Like, I'm just at bars trying to pick up dads and shit. Like, I'm like I'm cheating on him with another father or some shit. Like, I'm out here just like at Dads R Us trying to buy and be like, hey, yo, pops, you trying to play catch with me? Like, what the fuck? Like, what? You trying to spend Father's Day with me? What the fuck? Like, why? Like, why? And it's like, yeah, that energy. It's that energy. It's that energy. And it's that, like, just, I'm just like, why? Alex, you know, love him. love him, but he has a lot of those moments, and I'm just like, I can't. Like, you're a cool dude. This isn't me shitting on you as a person. I can't deal with that anymore. I don't have the time. I can't afford to waste that time. And I say that, checking myself, because it's not, there's a very big difference here. Because like I said, it sounds like a jackass because it sounds like egotistically I'm excluding myself from that category of like, oh, but what about people who have weak moments? And stuff. Like, I understand we all have our weak moments. All of us. Every human does. For you to be strong, you have to know what weakness is. For you to be weak, you have to know what strength is. I'm not saying weak moments don't happen, because they happen to everybody. Especially to me. I'll have weak moments. My unmotivated moments where I'm like, to hell with it today. Those are my weak moments. I'm not saying I don't have them at all. I don't turn them into a personality trait. For me. I don't let that define me personally. And I think that's the biggest difference, is that I've created my own sense of purpose, my own sense of motivation, and I'm doing something about it. And I'm not saying it to these people like I'm expecting them to turn overnight, because like I said, I am not even saying this in a way of saying I'm better than them, because I'm not. We all do the same thing. We breathe, eat, and shit the same way. What's the difference? What's the difference? And it just overall, it's like, doesn't make sense. I'm like, for me, it doesn't make sense for me to look down on them and have high expectations when I'm still learning. So when I say that, I don't mean it like that. I just mean I cannot surround myself with people who have no ambition like that. And I have truly, honest to God, I have been like slowly but surely cutting out those people. I've been like, I can't, and I haven't really told them that reason. It's kind of on me because I haven't done it to the fullest extent. But like, I'm just like, to some of the insecure girls, I'm like, I can't be around you. I'm sorry. If you're just letting your insecurities, if you let that happen, you let that dictate your life, that just goes to show you can't move on from the past and you're still in the past. Sorry, my cat's just on me. What's up, cat? What are you doing? Anyways. And I just can't be around it. Same thing with my friends, like Miles. Yeah, I really hope, because, Miles, Makai, and all of them, just people like them who, like, they have potential. It's just about, are they willing to put in that work? And, there's a lot of inspiration to be drawn over the place. A lot of people that made me get to that point, it was just a lot of dealing with the bullshit, dealing with the same stuff. And I'm like, it just physically makes me tired. And I'm just like, I can't do it. Bigger inspiration, my man KSI, YouTuber. Shout out to that man. When I tell you that man is incredible, that is an incredible person, because he was a YouTuber when YouTube wasn't even like a big thing yet. He was like second generation YouTuber when people were first ever gaming on there. And then he worked so hard for plus years to create a following. And I've talked about him on here before. I have. And then it's like, oh, I want to do music all the way. Came out with Lamborghini. Came out with all this other stuff. Then he left. He said, I'm not doing what I love anymore. I don't enjoy this anymore. I'm going to take some time, find myself. Comes back. Everything's better. His content's better. His music is better. YouTube boxing becomes a thing. He's one of the pioneers of that, And he comes out there and kills it there too. He kills it in that field as well. And he's done really well with that. And then all of those parts have just come together, where to now he's released a new album and he has the potential to go number one in the entire United Kingdom. I hope he gets it, but we will see. We'll see. I really hope he gets it. Yeah. And it's just, it's really a good way to draw inspiration from, because he's put a lot of hard work into it and he's always busy. So when I look at that, and I'm like, that's how you want to do it. Because it's also, for me personally, I'm like, I don't want to be just known for one thing. I want to be known for being me. And that is what I do is multiple things that encompass, and it defines me. I don't want to be known as just one thing. And I was listening to one cast, I was on Impulsive, Logan Paul's podcast, and he said this great quote. He said, when it comes to people who doubt and say you shouldn't do things, that's their job. I think the quote was something along the lines of, my job is to believe, my job is to do the impossible. Your job is to believe I can't. And something along those lines. I've probably butchered it, but basically saying, like, it's not personal, it's with their job. I'm supposed to be the naive self-believer, like, I'm going to do all these things, and your job is to believe I can't. And it's just the balance of the universe, and it's without them, there's no show. If I'm over here like, oh, I believe I can do this, and you're like, oh yeah, you can, there's not really that much drive to be like, there's more motivation behind doubt than there is from praise, because that can lead to complacency. So, for me, it's just, keeping doing it, just having fun doing it, the music and all that stuff, and just having fun. And hopefully I'll be able to, well, now that I'm injured, I'll probably be able to do more stuff for this and all that. And especially since now my mom's doing her own thing, that'll probably motivate me to have a better upload schedule. Because that'll be fun to watch, and hers is better quality. But overall, personally, for me, let me know if I'm a bad person for not believing, for just being fed up with weakness, as like in terms of as a whole person. Because weak moments, I'm like, we're all gonna have those. I'm not gonna judge you on that. But yeah, this is we got 50 more episodes to go to 100 before my 2-year anniversary of starting this entire thing. And we're working on some stuff. We'll get some better quality stuff, and it'd definitely be interesting to see the progression from where I start. And I'll definitely have to work more on time management as well, because school for me will be starting in about, at the time of this uploaded, 3 weeks, I want to say. 3 weeks. So I'll just have to keep working, and we'll see how that goes. And hopefully y'all stick around with the journey with me. This has been the 50th episode. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe. Love y'all. Bye-bye.